Hello, this is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com. We are actually on the play, probably for the first time this league. And we're in our match 4 with Lukka Surprise. We have some ramp and a way to dig, but we don't have anything to actually ramp into. So do we trust the magic gods or do we mull? With this oath, I think we're going to trust the magic gods with this oath and Nissa and hope that we get a turn 3 Lukka. So we'll play Hierarch turn 1, turn 2 Hierarch with a Nissa, hope to get the Lukka, turn 3 get an Emrakul, and hope our opponent doesn't have any way to answer it. That is our plan, folks. Play the Noble first, just in case it dies. Keep our Ignoble that produces red. I don't know if it will really matter, but it's best, especially with all these mountains in our hand, but it's best just to hedge our bets. Oh, yep, there we go. Izzet Murktide, my great nemesis. Will we be able to beat an Izzet Murktide deck? Interesting. All right, so we're going to Oath and Nissa first, see if we can get lucky enough to get the Lukka and dodge counter magic. And we are not going to find anything but land. That might be our worst. Should we thin our deck? Sure, we'll thin our deck. At this point, I'm not even sure if I want to cast this Footfall Crater or just try to get in some damage when I can. It won't matter if we draw the Lukka. We wouldn't have the mana to give it haste anyway. And we're flooding out, so we can save it to cycle it for some action, hopefully, depending on what we draw next. All right. Let's see what our opponent gets up to this turn. You know, what would be ideal is them to tap out and us to draw Lukka. Please. Okay, sir. All right. Dragon's Rage Channeler Tron. We will not block. Lukka off the top. One time. Ragavan. We could haste it in. Attack for a whole bunch. But the beauty of this land is we don't need to haste it in. We can also just enchant this land. Play a Ragavan. Give it haste. Makes you wonder how many people, when I don't ever get to the Lukka and they don't see the Emrakul, wonder exactly what I'm up to if I'm not just trying to basically do exactly what we're doing here, which is make Ragavan really big. Ooh, expressive iteration. We've already played a land. What could we possibly? We're going to get a card in our hand, so we will cast that. Oh, it feels good. And we get the Lukka. Put one of them into your hand. One of them on the bottom of the library. And exile one of them. And, oh man, this is a sweet, sweet turn. The number of times I've lost to, why can't I cycle it? Why can't I cycle it? I can only cast it from hand. Well, whatever. Oh, I paid a green. Well, sigh. Okay. Won't let me cycle. We have the Lukka. If they don't counter it, we should be okay. That felt sweet, though. I mean, just to take their expressive iteration, that makes me so happy. You know, yes, you want to tap out for some sort of nonsense here. Ledger Shredder. Their expressive iteration would have been best, although they do probably play some number of Force of Negations in their main. If I end up, yes, anyway, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but since I've never beaten Izzet Murktide, in a match at least, and I almost always lose to them chaining together their expressive iterations, it's just such a beautiful thing to see this right here happening, where it looks like they're going to tap down. And yeah, they're probably thinking, all right, we're going to be swinging in for 9, 2-turn clock. But what they don't know is Big Mama Emrakul is about to come down, get haste, and ruin their day for the flawless victory. Assuming they don't play main deck Force and Negations or Spell Pierce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so they have the Force. That is the only thing that's going to ruin our day, is a Force and Negation right now. Do they have the Force and Negation? They do not. Emrakul's coming for ya. Oh man. And I assume opponent scoops it up. What a weird Izzet Murktide draw that is. 4 Dragon's Rage Channeler. I will say this. Losing to 2 Cascade decks in a row will all be forgotten if I can beat Izzet Murktide. Alright, so we bring in Veil of Summers. The One Ring has not felt good in this deck either. I don't know. Theoretically, it buys us time and draws us in the cards. We just haven't seen it. I mean, not in this league at least. What are they going to bring in? Probably they're going to bring in Counter Magic and hold it up only. So we'll need to play around that with our Veil of Summer. I'm sure they play Otawara. The Brotherhood's End is something we can bring in as both a way to wipe the board of a lot of their 1-drop creatures and 2-drop creatures if we get lucky, but also as a way to blow up a Pithing Needle should they go get it. So we need to cut 5. Again, it's always tricky here. I usually just trim, even though I have to trim some of our some of our pieces, combo pieces. So hopefully we'll just do that again and they won't have any Counter Magic. Veil of Summer, good, check. Hierarch, check. Lukka, check. Answer, check. This is a keep. Alright, well, let's see what they get up to, because we have a nice hand. They play a ton of Counter Magic after board especially, but certainly before. And Dragon's Rage Channeler is back, followed by a Bobble. Arguably one of the more annoying plays in Magic. Stern Scolding, yep. So we could take some time and hold up this Veil, but really, it wouldn't protect the Hierarch from a Bolt or Unholy Heat. And we really would want to save it anyway for this Lukka when it comes time to it. Or if we're really desperate, Brotherhood's End. See what they play. Ooh, dashing it in. Well, that's not nice for us, but I think what we'd really like is some kind of like a Fable off the top would be sweet. Not right now. Right now, land, please. Let them Ooh, Veil of Summer. Well, now they know we play it. All right, Fable, or a way of Bitter Reunion. Okay, Passaggio isn't good. I mean, it might be good later, but it's not good right now. All right, well, you know, their life total was at 11 before we ever got to the Emrakul, and it wouldn't have mattered if we hadn't gotten the Emrakul, but we might as well swing in. And we'll hold the Passaggio in case they do play a Pithing Needle. This also means we're going to take another Ragavan hit, I think. Yep. Stop now if it works. Alright. Well, it is what it is. We would have loved to hit not a Beseju, but some sort of Manador there. Oh, it's another Veil of Summer. Unbelievable. Alright. Now they have Counterspell Magic in just the treasure tokens, which is really unfortunate for us. Man, no help for that. Okay. Oh, it's so painful. So painful. So painful. They're hitting us with a Ragavan and a Dragon's Rage Channeler. We're getting in with that Noble Hierarch. Boom. Take it. Next turn we can cast Lukka into a counterspell, I'm sure. They're going to have so much mana. Here it comes. That seems familiar. So we're waiting. We have to wait a whole 2 turns from now. We're going to take, depending on what we draw, we're going to take another hit. A lightning bolt would be nice. Well, they finally got a land off of us. Yeah, I mean, they got to be sitting on like 4 counter spells, I imagine. Oh, good. Oh, the pain. The pain. It hurts so bad. We're really relying heavily on this Veil of Summer to protect us from counter magic. They're going to have 5 mana available after this if they don't play a land. Yep. Yeah, I mean, we've literally drawn land every single turn, right? We kept Lukka, Veil, Brothers, Hoods in, and Ignoble Hierarch, and we've hit a land. And even the cards that they've gotten off the Ragavan. Is that another? Oh, Fable. Wow, they may be tempted to cast a Fable. You know you want to. You know you want to cast that Fable. Cast the Fable. They probably have the Ottawire in hand anyway. And we're down to such a low life total. Look at them resisting. Now that is some discipline. Discipline. Second Lukka. Okay, well, I mean, at this point, I'm not sure it matters. And you know the other thing that Veil doesn't do that Tamiyo Safekeeping does that I used to keep Tamiyo Safekeeping in for was it doesn't protect Noble Hierarch from a Lightning Bolt. And we've drawn so poorly that... Oh, I played the wrong land, just clicking. Dang, that was a misplay. That's going to hurt. We've drawn so poorly that... we don't have a second creature, which is kind of hard to believe at this point. Spell Pierce. Oh, well, I can undo that. Let them do their surveilling. I'll hit the Veil of Summer into their counterspell, I imagine. Is there any reason not to scoop it up? Well, we're not technically dead yet. I really wish we hadn't shocked ourselves. I was just trying to click away from the reading and accidentally clicked on the stomping ground. Alright, so assuming they can't fill their graveyard with one more creature type, or one more card type, you have one more turn, and even then we're probably dead. Oh yeah, this has been a painful game. See, even a resolved Lukka doesn't do anything for us here. We've just drawn really poorly, and they've kept a handful of counter magic and just played it right. They've played it land. They've played it the right way. I'll give them that. And we don't even have a way to give haste. So yeah, this has been a really, really, really bad running for us this game. I mean, just One non-land card that entire game before we died, and granted it is our best card, but we don't have any of our other pieces really. Oh, that was painful. And I know we took out a couple pieces, but still. All right. Do we care about Veil? Do we want to try to play around? I mean, it's just maybe Veil on the draw isn't good enough. It's too slow. I don't know. Let's try to speed it up a little bit. All right. I mean, just ever so slightly, basically, speed things up. I mean, we could think about Blood Moon on the play to try to shut them off their counter magic. Is that a better play than Veil of Summer? I mean, Izzet plays Blood Moon in their sideboards. They'll probably play around it. All right, well, let's run it back. All right, game number 3 against Izzet. We have 2 Lukkas. That's good. A Fable to discard this Emrakul on turn 2, assuming our Noble Hierarch survives, which, based on the way things have gone so far this match, it will, but you can't count on that. At which point, we're hoping to resolve a Fable just to discard our combo piece. It's pains me to get rid of one of this. Is our biggest, most necessary piece. All right, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna trust in the magic gods. We're gonna trust in the magic gods in 2 ways. 1, that the Noble Hierarch does not die. 2, that they don't spell pierce our Fable of the Mirror Breaker, but instead play a Dragon's Rage Channeler like they have been every single game so far. No. Well, Bitter Reunion off the top, please. Bitter Reunion off the top. Oh, really? Yeah, a land is good too, just ensuring us to get. Oh, how awkward is this? I mean, it's better than make sure we get to the 3rd land, but I don't see Fable resolving at this point, unless they tap out for maybe we get lucky and they tap out for like a Ledger Spreader, or at this point like a Ragama. See what they get. Oh, no fear of the Blood Moon. No fear of the Blood Moon. Alright, well, we have to go for the Fable. Hope they don't have a Force Negation. So we have to be able to discard this Emrakul. So now what we want to get draw off this Fable, we're going to discard the Emrakul. We want to hit probably, I don't know if we want to get rid of the Hierarch, to be honest. We want to hit land. We want to draw land, discard the Emrakul, hit a haste. We could discard one of these Lukkas, but seeing as our opponent plays an insane amount of counter magic, probably better to keep it. Huh, 3rd Lukka. Now we'll discard one probably, because we need to make our land drops. And we did make a land drop. Let me accept the trigger, shuffle everything back in. So now we have both Lukkas, 2 more Lukkas to draw in our deck. Question is, do we want to go ahead and run out? Right now, the problem with Lukka and Hierarchs, right, or Goblin tokens, is when we exile the Goblin token, we just get a 1-drop. So I imagine that this will mean if we play the Lukka, even if it resolves, we're going to end up just plussing it. And then they have Unholy Heat to kill it. So I think we're going to run out the Hierarch. See what they do. Play the land, alright. And then maybe get lucky and draw a Veil of Summer to help protect the Lukka next turn. We still don't have a way to give the Emrakul haste, but there's a chance that won't matter. I'd say there's a better chance that wouldn't matter than there is our opponent not having counter magic for the Lukka. And also this puts us on hitting for 3 this turn. And we just draw a useless land. That's painful. Alright, well we're going to go for it, especially because we have 2 of them. So draw out the first counter magic. Counterspell, number 1. Okay. You know, what would be really nice is if our opponent has a handful of counter magic, no way to get turn on their unholy heat. So I hate that card. And we just get the beats in. They'd be too afraid to tap out for the creatures in their hand until it's too late. We'll see. Now they're not even going to attack. Interesting. Veil of Summer maybe? Ooh, Preordain. Okay, yeah. Preordain. We would love a Veil of Summer, especially if they're going to tap low. Maybe get 1. Maybe just be able to nerf 1 counterspell enough to get the Emrakul out. I remember that it's a fragile combo. They can counter the Lukka, or they could just bolt whatever creature we target. At which point, we wouldn't be able to get the Emrakul anyway. So it's not the most solid of the combos. It's easily disrupted. Let's say there's the Unholy Heat. Ooh, okay. So now if we hit a Veil of Summer and they have counter magic, just a counter spell, we can sneak this Lukka down. Still not be able to attack because we don't have haste yet. Veil of Summer. Fable. Well, that's good. We like the Fable. They still have counter magic, so I assume that this Lukka would get countered, and that's what we'd be digging for with the Fable anyway. So 1, 2, 3. So why don't we run out a Fable, see what they do. Well, that works too. See if they have force negation. Well, it's not a hasty Emrakul, but it is an Emrakul. Here's hoping no Otawara, or no other tricksy way of answering it. Ah! Yes, I did it. I beat Izzet Murktide for the first time in my life, I'm pretty sure. Wow. Opponent scoops it up. We baited them out with the Fable. They didn't think we had the Lukka. They thought we were going to dig for the Lukka, and we had the Lukka the whole time. Boom, shakalaka. That has made my ninth. Taking down the big baddie best deck, one of the best decks in the format, Izzet Murktide, with an Emrakul on turn 6. Man, that feels good. All right, well, glad I got there. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay. Thanks for watching. We got one more match in this league to go for the 3-2 dream and break our 2-3 streak of matches, our leagues, with playing our jank. And yeah, so this is Johnny Cycles with cyclesgaming.com, and I'll see you on the next one.